Bunmi Abel TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bunmi Abel TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. Dr. Bunmi Abel TV here for you. Inspire, educate, inform. That's what we do. Thanks for being part of this growing family. Let's keep shining together in unity.
Hello, and hello again. You are welcome here. We're expecting people to join us. Welcome. Nice to know that you are behind the scene watching. And hey, you are welcome here. Thank you very much. Today, we are actually diving into a very crucial conversation about preparing kids for the future. And in a world that's constantly changing, how do you equip our children? How do we equip our children to not just survive, but thrive? From navigating technology, emotional intelligence, building resilience, life skills. There's so much. Financial literacy, like I was talking with some children today. So many things. And as parents, our role goes beyond today. We're shaping the next generation. So in this live session, we'll explore practical ways to future-proof our children while balancing modern challenges. So feel free, drop your thoughts, drop your comments, your questions in the chat. Let's make this an interactive and empowering discussion as I wait for some of our guests to still join us on the show. Today I have Mrs. Olubanjo. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. We're still expecting more of our guests to join in, but we will start because we can't keep you special guests waiting. You've connected online, and we need you to we need to respect your time. So thank you very much. Now the first question is, what are the 3 top life skills every child needs to thrive in the future, and how can parents start teaching them from an early age? And the reason we say this is it could differ from one family to the other. You might have actually studied your own children and think, I think these are the 3. Some other people have come up with different types of 3 skills they think their children need. So just 3 from your experience. What are those 3 if you were to tell us? Thank you very much. Over to you.
Hi. Thank you for having me again. Like you said, it varies. What you think is more important to you might be different from what is important to me or to another family. But there are basic skills that I believe our children should have. Number 1, communication and social skills is one. Having I want to kind of put it in an umbrella. Having basic like cooking, household, let's say domestic, under the umbrella of domestic skills. That includes maybe personal care, hygiene, cooking, making use of kitchen appliances, and all those skills, very important. Cleaning, cleaning their room at a tender age. Okay, I want to be practical also. Doing some laundry, washing, those are domestic skills. So let me just be a little bit practical, because we are in a world whereby, like you said, modern world, a lot of things are changing, and all these skills are kind of we are not really putting effort into practicalizing it with our children. We feel that okay, so far they can excel in their academics, they are good, but no, because when you see some, like I see some teenagers, they are not really groomed.
Mm.
You know, they are not well groomed, or maybe I would say they were not well groomed. They might be taught, and they might not really,
The teaching.
wrong, because I'm a mother too. I know how I kind of really I mean, take my children on this topic. Okay, you need to be tidy. You need to do things for yourself. You need to be organized. So it's not that we don't really teach them, but how well are they adhering to learning the skills? Praise the name of the Lord.
Church, thank you.
Yeah, we're not in the church, but then how do they apply these skills?
Yes.
Very important, because we are now, I can see that a lot of children, not that they are not really taught, but they are not applying it. Okay, you can see that that's why you see a lot of children, maybe teenagers, they go, not that they are not being taught, some are taught, some are not taught. It's what they see sometimes, dressing inappropriately. What kind of clothes are your children? Have you told them? Are they putting on? Are they putting on their girls? Clothes that are revealing. Are we telling them the manner of dressing, or are they not really listening? And if the problem is that they are not listening, how are we communicating the skills to them? So it's very important. Communication. I'll speak on communication skills. Yeah, is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll speak on communication skills and social skills. Very important. We need to teach our children how to be active listeners. Okay, active listener, and how to listen with also empathy. Does not mean that when you're communicating, even with your peers, your own peers, you need to communicate in such a way that you are not dominating. You're not the one that you want to always be heard. You're always dominating the conversation, and everything that others are speaking, you're not right. You're not a good listener. Yeah. And that is, and one thing I've noticed also in adults, it's something that you have learned. Somebody has not corrected you. In adults, there are some, there are some adults that wherever they are in the midst of others, they want to be heard. I mean, there's nothing wrong in wanting to be heard. Don't get me wrong. But when you stop people from, saying what they believe, and you're trying every time to dominate conversation, you feel that whatever you're saying is always right, then it's not healthy. It's not a healthy way of communicating. Those are social skills that we should be able to imbibe. So as little as they are, whatever age they are, you could see these traits in them when they are communicating with their siblings. Yeah. And it has happened most of the time in my own, home. I can see when I said, why can't you just, why is it that every time you cannot have you cannot really have a conversation, you need to raise your voice, and then you need to kind of turn it to a fight, not a physical fight. Yeah, but it's like an aggressive manner, tone, and then because somebody's not hearing you out. All right. So you shouldn't. You should be able to listen to others. You should be able to be empathetic. Yeah. And also you should also handle conflicts respectfully. All right. Handle conflict if you have conflicts with your peers in maybe in the manner that they speak. You should be able to be matured enough to handle it, in a respect every person's view. Not that you really agree with what they're saying, but you respectfully, speak. you are active in listening. All right. And also, another one that comes under communication is um, being able to express your thoughts clearly. You know, whatever you feel that is bothering you. You know, sometimes as Africans, you know, we kind of, in a way, try to um, try not to allow our children to be able to air their views in a way somehow. But now that life is changing, you know, that we should also encourage them to be able to speak out when things are not going the way they want it. Try for them to try to be able to express their views. Okay, I'm not happy with the way you did this. And also, as parents, we should be able to be listeners also, because when they come to you like that, um, it's really bothering them. So we should also be matured in being able to listen to them and encourage them to express their emotions clearly. So, so I've talked about communication and social skills. I've talked about, you know, domestic chores, domestic skills that we need to inculcate into our children. So the last one, like I said, we have a lot. Last one is also, I feel is important, responsibility and accountability. We should be able to teach our children to be able to keep promises. If they promise someone that, oh, okay, I'm going to be there, I'm going to do this for you. If you couldn't do it, don't say that you cannot. You don't say you're going to do it. Don't please everyone, right? Don't be a person's pleaser, a man's pleaser. If you know you're not going to do it, then say, oh, I'm sorry. I would have loved to, but I can't in this particular situation. Okay.
Yeah.
Be responsible, be accountable, okay, to your commitments, and also take ownership. If you do something wrong, say, okay, I'm sorry, this is wrong, is my mistake, I accept. All right. And also being able to understand the consequences of your actions. You know, understand whatever, if you do something wrong, know that there's always a consequence for your behavior. If you're not behaving well, know that there are consequences for those behaviors.
Yeah.
So I think that being dependable, yeah, that's part of it, being dependable. Let someone be able to be, and children, because we're talking about our future children, our future kids, knowing very well that they watch us.
Yeah.
Right, they are watching us. So it's not for us to be able to say that, okay, you should be responsible when you are not responsible yourself as a mom and as a dad. You don't keep to time, right? Maybe you have maybe you're always going to work late, or maybe in a social you're always going to church late. As a parent, your children are watching you. So that is what they will learn. But even though you tell them that, oh, you keep your promises, and you're not keeping your promises. Okay, so that's why sometimes I'm very, very careful, because my children are very, very good at doing that. You say, oh, mom, you said that. But I'll tell them, yeah, I'll tell them, look, I did not promise you, and I did not tell you that I will do it. Okay, there were conditions. So there's a difference between me saying, okay, I'm really going to do this. If I said I'm going to do it, yes, I will. So they are looking at you and they watch you and they pick on what you say. So whatever we do as parents, we should know that our children, they will learn from what you are doing. So if you say that they should be responsible, you should also be responsible. You should also be committed. All right. So I don't know if I have been able to speak clearly on that. If you have any other thing to say, you can add. Hello? Oh, have I lost you? Hello, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. She can hear me. Hello? I don't think she can hear me. Hello, you
Yes,
couldn't hear me. I lost you there.
yes. Sorry, I think it's the network playing up here. I
Right,
had to reconnect somewhere else to
right.
another. But thank you very much for
Okay,
staying.
so I
Yeah.
said,
So you were.
I hope, yeah.
Yes. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Let me see if I can bring in Mr. Luadari. It's behind the scene. Okay. Let me talk about. Thank you very much. So you talked about. Yes. Somebody's just sent me a message saying my network. Oh, yes, it's my network. I need I need to speak to UW. Anyway, so you talked about cooking as one of the skills, and
Yeah,
mind asking reminding people that when we talk of cooking, it's not just for the girls, even the boys need to
right. Yes.
evolving. If we listen to the last week's talk with the papas,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
papas are now cooking. They have
Yeah.
to do childcare. So boys, if you have boys, please don't. Yes, they are princes. The ladies too are princesses. Let them
Yeah.
all learn to cook. Survival. They need to survive and thrive at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yes. It's not only for girls. Cooking is not like my boys. They cook. You know,
mm,
they do cook. They might not cook as like heavily. Yes, but
they can
just
feed
making
themselves.
something with themselves,
Yes.
making scrambled eggs. They should be able to do that. Making indomie,
Exactly.
making rice, cooking rice. They should be able to do that. You
Of
know,
course.
still when they get to that, yeah. My boy is in university now. She cooks. He cooks soup for himself. So she will snap the soup and say, "Oh," and then
To have made.
and table and snap it and then show us that okay, yeah, it's so it's what both parts because you don't know where you're going to. We don't know.
Hmm.
Everybody people say okay, it's women we know that we cook more, but in this world now. You can't say, okay, we don't know who you're going to get married to. We don't
Yeah,
know if the guy you're going to get married to will not be cooking.
I
So
know.
you should be you should be dependent, independent, sorry, rather. Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Thank you very much. And you also mentioned being able to say no, keeping, if you say a yes, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So we shouldn't learn teaching them how to say no, So that's why, like, so there's a parenting course I attend to a yearly one with Coach Wendy on the intentional parenting. I was talking about if if your child says no to you and you have a problem with it, then you need to think again because that is their own way. If they should, you should be able to help
Right.
them. That's where
Mm-hmm.
emotional intelligence comes in with adults as well. So it's not just the children that need emotional intelligence. Being able to solve a problem wisely. So when a child throws a
Mm-hmm.
tantrum, you don't throw your own tantrum too and everything
Yeah.
scatters. You,
Mm-hmm.
how do you deal with it wisely
Yeah.
shows how emotionally intelligent you are. So talking about how children should be able to say no when you see them doing the trait of saying no, try to channel that no into them, not just being shutting them up to say, oh, you must never say no to me, or because if they
Yes.
don't say, they don't learn to say no, they will say yes to everything and everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be a problem. So for children to be able to stand up for themselves is what we want as parents as well. Thank you very much for adding that. And I thought I just mentioned very quickly, critical thinking and problem solving is one of them. There's so many. So we can teach them through games, board games, like we were playing, what was that? Monopoly. The last time I played Monopoly was when I was young, and I actually forgot all the skills. So we had to go on YouTube and learn again, and even with the children, and we had to start
Yeah.
playing. So all those strategy games, you can start
Mm-hmm.
learning them. Let them think critically and how to solve problems. Because hey, the world, any work anyone has to do now, it has to be a
Yeah.
problem solver. If you're
Problem
not a
solving.
problem solver, you're not needed in that
Mm-hmm.
workspace. Then emotional intelligence, like I said before, is another thing. How do we teach children empathy? How do we model how to regulate our emotions? Yes, we have the angry emotion, the fearful emotion, the scary one, the happy one, the joyful one, the neutral one, poker face one. We have all of these emotions, But how do we model it to them that actually you can actually control yourself even when you're very, very angry and you feel like breaking down the walls. You
Yeah.
healthy communication, like
Mm-hmm.
you said, and adaptability and resilience is another thing, because people break under pressure. We'll notice that so many mental issues that are going on around now is because people can't cope with rejection. They
Yeah.
can't cope with being sending 1,000 CVs and nothing
Yes.
came out of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next thing they think of is, oh, I'm not good enough and I need to kill
Yeah.
myself. So teaching them resilience and teaching them how to adapt in a new environment. So those are things, I'm sure. So viewers, if you're listening to us, please write what are all the other things you think children need to
Mm-hmm.
learn
Yeah.
before, as they grow older, so that it will help them in their future. And that takes me to our next question. Thank you very much for this. Thank you to those who are online. Next question is, how can parents help children develop problem solving skills in their everyday routine? I think I just mentioned that.
Yeah, you just mentioned that critical
I'll
thinking.
just
Yeah, encourage thinking. Yeah, critical
yes,
thinking.
playing games, and those are ways we can start teaching them all this chess. Some people are very good
Yeah,
at chess. Starting
puzzles also is a way.
puzzles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of them always online,
yes,
doing computer game, puzzles is a way of engaging their brain
yes.
to think of how to solve
You're
problems.
very correct with that, and it actually teaches resilience as well, because sometimes you're like 1,000 puzzles, and I'm not doing it again. I
Yeah,
haven't done
you
one.
don't want to.
No, you have to finish it to the end. You
Yes.
have to finish that puzzle. So teaching them to start something and finish it is also, that's where puzzles come in as well, and how to strategically solve such puzzles. So thank you very much for mentioning that. We go on to the next one, which is let me take this off the screen so we can see ourselves more. Okay. All right. Yes, with technology changing so quickly, how can parents encourage adaptability and a growth mindset in their children?
Okay. Right, John. What is growth mindset, first of all? Yeah. So a growth mindset is believing that your brain can grow. Yeah. Literally, that you can grow, you can learn new things.
Mm,
Right? You are not born a smart person. Some people are, yeah, some people are born, some have a good IQ,
thank
a
you.
very high IQ, but most people are not born that, IQ. You need to develop your brain, okay? And it depends on how you have been able to adapt your brain, how you have been able to develop yourself. So a growth mindset can encourage a passion for learning. So if you have a growth mindset, you know that, okay, you want to learn, you have that passion to want to learn. And that is what we need to encourage our children to do, to have that growth mindset, you know, not a fixed mindset. And it's a shame that a lot in our society now, they have that fixed mindset that, oh, I cannot do much, or this is how I am. Yeah, this is how I am. I am not smart. I hear that a
Mm,
lot, when I teach. And children, sometimes, okay, no, I'm not good in maths. No, I'm not. Some children to be even assert the fact that, look, I'm dumb. I'm dumb, I'm not smart. So most of them, why do you say that? Why do you say that? No, don't look down on yourself.
mm,
Don't look down on yourself. Nobody is born smart. You can do it. So we should be able to encourage our children that, look, even though there are challenges, you will always face challenges. But if you face a challenge, does not mean that you cannot do it. You can do it if you believe that you can do it, and it depends on how passionate you are. Okay, so we need to be able to teach our children that, that can do attitude that they should be able to know that they can do things. They should be able to try hard. Even if they don't get it one time, does not mean that they are not going to get it. It's by practice. You practice, and as you practice, you will be better. I'll give a practical example because I believe in practicality about my son at a stage when he was planning to do his not planning. He was about to do his GCSE, right? And he was preparing. That's what I was looking for. Preparing for his GCSE. And then, he came to me one time. You know what, Mom? I don't think I'm going to do well in physics. Okay? He said, forget it. I don't think I will do well he told me that I will do well in biology. I will do well in chemistry. But physics, I might not do well. That's what he said. And I said, why did you say that? Why did you say that? Because I don't understand it. He said, I don't understand it. So he said, okay. And I said, look, don't say that you cannot do well. You need to try. And what I did then? I said, okay, bring the physics. Let me see what you don't understand. Let me see. Even though I'm not a science student, I'm not in science. And okay, let me work with you. I will get the syllabus. Give me the syllabus. Let me see what you're doing. And glory be to God. From there, I took it upon myself. I liaised with the teacher. I went online to see what the syllabus was, and I supported him. And to God be the glory. It was his highest in the sciences. Physics was his highest in the sciences. And you see what? Don't look down on yourself. Okay? Do not. He was amazed. And if I had left him, I said, oh, okay, maybe that is his level. He doesn't know. Do you know? He doesn't know. Maybe let me just encourage him to pass others, and then if he doesn't really, maybe get an average. Yeah. But that tells us that look, there's nothing that we can. If we put our hearts to do something, there's nothing that we cannot do. So we should encourage our children. When they come to us and say, "Oh, I can't do this. I cannot do that," encourage them. Even though I know that some children might be gifted in some tasks better than the others, right? But again, depending on their interest, we should be able to encourage them till we know that, okay, this thing might not be for them. Because again, we should also balance it, right? You should know when a child, there are some skills that a child might be gifted in, and we should also encourage them to prosper in those fields where they are gifted in. For example, I know that when my son was growing up, as little as when he was a toddler, I knew that he had the potential to excel in instruments because he loved to play instruments. He was using my everything, my kitchen, utensils, my pots, as early as when he was a toddler. We use it with banging, and we using it as drum. When we're in church, he was always gazing at the pianist, at the drum set. He was always. So I knew that he had that passion right from when he was small. And now, to God, that's what he is interested in. He plays the keyboard. He does well there. So what am I saying also? So I'm just bringing a balanced context into it. We can do well if we put our mind to it, but also we could excel in other things, that God has blessed us with. Again, at the same time, we should not give up at anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
thank you. Thank you very much. So many points there. Thank you. And I'll go on the chat to see contributions from people behind the scenes. It says, Pure Grace says, my top 3 skills will be problem-solving skills, emotional intelligence, and spiritual values. Exactly. That's one of them as well. This spiritual values involves integrity, love, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, and all of that is all in one. Thank you for your contribution. Another comment here by Mr. Sunday, Papa Sunday Oluwadare, who was here on the Papa's talk last week, says parents should create time to participate in the children's discussions and introduce questions that can help them probe their thoughts before answering. In such questions, such questions can help in tailoring their discussions to the dissemination of God and life virtues. So thank you very much. Another one here says, thank you, Amy, says board games, problem solving can be done through conversations, allowing to be vulnerable in front of our children and sharing an issue, dilemma, and inviting them to make suggestions. Yes, it's not like we've got it all sorted, we're perfect. Let them see that there are times when, even in playing games, sometimes you could make yourself be the last so that they can see your reaction to it. You don't have to, how do they call it? Sore losers. Game spirit and all of that. Sometimes you allow them win so that they can see your reaction to it and how you move on. So that is how we show, we model. Modeling is one of very important things we can do. So definitely using it as a tool, doing research together. Yes. Sometimes they're stuck, let them see you vulnerable at some point. Let them see where, they can learn from. It's such experiences that make them learn from us. All right. Before I go on to the next question, talking about technology changing so quickly and how parents can encourage adaptability and a growth mindset in their children, I'll just, say fortunately, unfortunately, we can't see our guests coming in. I thought they were going to come, but hey, two of us will do it. Some are struggling with their internet as well.
All right.
Messages, and we'll carry on. I'll just use this one here. It says model a growth mindset. Just like we were saying, modeling is very important. Sharing our own life experiences. And for example, if you're learning a new app, say to them, I'm still figuring this out, but I'll get better with practice. And that they will catch easily that, well, so you don't actually give up and say, oh, I delete this app because I don't know how to use it. I can't know how to use it and I delete it. But they learn from that. So it matters for children to learn from watching the adults. Also, celebrating effort. Yeah, this is something I know is done in schools. Even in the, is it on the daily, not weekly or monthly or yearly reports, they will tell you, oh, effort, they class it as so. What else? They will class several things. Class progress, effort, and there's one other thing they do. So we need to also be able to appreciate the effort, celebrate the efforts, not just if they won. They may come second place, they may come third place, celebrating their effort to even being in that game in the first place. So for example, I'm proud of how you kept trying rather than you're so smart. That's a growth mindset. And it matters in reinforcing the belief that intelligence and skills grow through effort. Also, there is encouraging curiosity and exploration, allowing children to explore new technology, try new apps, of course, under our watchful eyes. Because if you leave children, they will just go. I tell my children, I said the internet is like a marketplace. Just leaving you, going in the marketplace, and you'll get lost. So you need parental guidance until you grow to an age where you're able to go to the market yourself without any worries. And I tell them, so it's not like this Tesco market. We're talking of only Igbo markets, those Balogun markets. So yeah, that's the way I see the internet. So normalizing mistakes and learning from failure. Yes, we normalize mistakes are part of human beings' way of learning. So normalizing it, not making it feel like if you make a mistake, you've committed a crime. Let people learn from their mistakes and learning from failures. And most of all this technology we use, even electricity, it was through several mistakes. Look at Abraham Lincoln, who was the president. It was through several trying to be the president. How many times did they say he was he failed?
Such
Is
things. It not, who is the person now? Is it
Trump?
Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln before,
Was it
yeah,
Abraham
Abraham
Lincoln?
Lincoln, when Abraham Lincoln was,
Yeah,
president of America,
before,
he
yeah,
tried
he failed a
several
lot of
times.
times.
Yes, he tried
And
several times before he could get there. Even the electricity, and even there was the one of Eureka. That's I maybe if he saw an apple fall from the tree and he shouted Eureka or something.
yeah,
All of these technology we're using nowadays, they didn't just plug it in once and they got it. They kept trying and trying and trying several times before they could get it. So we should normalize mistakes with children, and then creating opportunities to solve problems. We could do a puzzle together and ask them, taking the lead and all of that. Teaching digital literacy and flexibility, introducing them to a variety of platforms and tools, how to work smart, not just hard, and then being comfortable with diverse technologies to prepare them, because either we like it or not, technology has come to stay and they need to thrive in this world of technology. Like I tell people, I said, AI has not come to replace people, but people with AI will replace those without AI.
yeah, well,
that's,
that's true.
that's the way it's going. Either
Yeah, that's true.
or not.
Mhm.
Yes. So I think I've said so much. We will go on to the next one, which is about um so has anybody sent a message? I just wanted to see. Parents, okay, yeah, thank you. Pure Grace. Oh, I'm sweating. I can't believe it. I have to open the door. Pure Grace says parents can encourage growth mindset and adaptability by normalizing failure, emphasize lifelong learning. Thank you. Lifelong learning, meaning we learn every day. It's not just when they finish school and that's the end. No.
Yeah.
Learning every day. Teaching digital agility, help them adapt to evolving technology by learning, relearning, and unlearning. Thank you very much. Yes, you are very correct. You could, those of you who are speaking behind the scene, you can jump on. Let's have you on. I'll put the link for you to jump on so that we can do this together. This is going to be the last topic in this series before we introduce another one. So let me go on to the next question, which is, what role does self-reliance, what role does self-reliance play in preparing kids for the future, and what are the practical ways to nurture independence? Over to you.
Okay, so let's just look at what self-reliance is. What is self-reliance? Right. So it is the ability to independently think, act, and take responsibility for one's own, decision and needs and well-being. So without depending on others.
Yeah.
So if you're a self-reliant, person, you need to develop that confidence in yourself and in your ability. So it depends on how you have been able to how would I say, develop yourself in certain areas. So we should, as parents, encourage that skill or that character of being reliable, being self-reliant.
Yeah.
And that takes us so one of the ways we can be self-reliant is by being independent, like I said, taking responsibility for one's actions and choices. So for example, with your teaching your child that, look, if you wake up late, that there are consequences for that because you're going to go to school late, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that child knows that, look, and you must not go to school late, because if you go to school late, there are consequences for you being late. So that is an example. And that child will be able to know that, okay, it's not good for me to be late. So you are teaching that child to be independent, to be able to think of all of his actions, that how his actions can lead to some negative consequences.
Yeah.
So self-reliance also, it's about, you finding solutions, teaching your child to be able to be, like we've talked about, problem solving, finding solutions instead of waiting for help, thinking through, can I do this myself? All right. In schools, we try to teach the children that, okay, before you ask for help, before
Yeah,
you ask,
brain, there's
yes, you
Peter,
need
I've
to,
forgotten now. There's
yeah,
the bees, they're all bees.
yes, yeah, this. You need to be able to be brave. You need to be able to think about what it is. Can you do it yourself? Can you
Yeah,
ask for help from your partner,
yeah.
your body? Yeah,
Brain
can you
book
do
part,
that?
body, yes,
Yeah,
brain
my body is
book,
there. Huh.
body. There's another one, then yeah,
Yeah, so
before you ask
before you now then ask your
the
teacher for
teacher.
help.
Boss, before the boss, yes.
Before the
There are
boss, yes.
four B's.
Yeah. Before the boss.
Wow. Remember my
So
PG. PGC.
yeah, so
PGC.
that's it. So you're teaching them that, look, can you find out why this is so, or why this is not so? Confidence,
Mm,
developing that confidence in themselves that are able, trusting their own abilities and judgments, you know, being also resilient. We talked about resilience also, handling setback, being able to learn from their mistakes. Like we
mm,
said before, that children of nowadays, they easily give up because once they can't do something, they don't want to try. They
mm.
feel that, oh, that is it, and that is why you see a lot of mental health problems.
Breakdown. Yeah.
We are they are not like Africans. We are kind of we have that capacity to be able to take a lot, to be able to take a lot. But the children that we're raising now, they are not any little thing now. They are kind of um, chattered. Okay,
Yeah.
so we should be able to let them know that they are able to do it. Resilience, they are able to bounce back when they fail. It's not every time they will pass. It's not every time they will win. When they
Mhm.
don't win, they should also, like my son that plays ball. Sometimes, when they don't win, he becomes like he's sad.
Arsenal and Chelsea and
Yes, yeah, he's
Man
sad.
U. Ah, some
Uh-huh.
people will be weeping.
All right. Yes, they're sad. He's sad because they didn't win. But need to tell them, look, you can't win all the time.
Yeah.
Like we said, you
Sportsmanship.
cannot win all the time. Some
Mm,
people will lose. Yes, when you lose, you learn from losing. You learn, oh, what can I do better?
mm.
Okay, what did I do wrong? How can I improve myself?
Yeah.
And then you bounce back. Okay, so that is how we can teach them how to be self-reliant.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have one more question. One more question. Please write your comments right in the chat. Let's learn from you. Thank you to those who have been on the chat. Pure Grace Orugo, thank you very much. Amy Melros, thank you very much. And Sunday Oluwadare, thank you very much for chatting with us and making it interactive. What strategies have you used as a parent? Write it in the comments. Let's learn from you. Let's hear from you. What strategies have you used as a parent? And before our last one, I'll also say involving them. I mean, allowing children to be involved in all of these basic skills we're talking about. It's not enough to say, oh, you have to, you do this, and then they don't do it, and we just say, oh, well, I've told them. No, it's not about telling. Involve
Yeah.
them in the practical tasks, like the
Yeah.
cooking. Put them on the timetable,
Yes.
managing money. Let
Mhm.
them have their own bank account. Let's
Mhm.
see how they manage it. Because if you can correct it from now, it will help them before they go into to being
Mhm.
on their own.
Yeah.
And how to handle technology. It's not just about taking it away from them. Give it to them and see
And
how
see
they
how they
do.
manage it. Yeah.
You're able to correct where
Mhm.
need be, where there is a need for it. So there's so many things. We just need to involve them right from this very early age. Let's not wait playing the waiting game. It will just escalate things. There's some things they need to learn from a very early age. Last question, but not the least on this series of mamas and papas is where are you? You've run away. Okay, it is how can parents balance academic excellence with teaching essential life skills like financial literacy, communication, and emotional intelligence. Because these things are not taught in school, to be honest with you. They won't teach you, okay, sit down, today is about communication, or today is about financial literacy. No. They might teach you how to add money together in maths, or how to speak about money in English, or uh, weigh coins, or weigh this in physics and all of that. But teaching you financial literacy, that is not a topic in school. So my question is, how can parents balance academic excellence? It's not all about getting all the A's and the A stars, the nines. Also, these life skills. How do you think parents can balance it?
Right. Okay. So it's using day-to-day skill, day-to-day routine,
Yeah.
um, like situations that happen daily. You use it to teach your child about financial literacy. For example, right, maybe now you go to the store, you buy things, and then you can even send them to the store. You can send your child to the store, give them £10. How much you see how they are able to use the money and change. What change have you gotten from that? That is teaching them, and then explaining to them, okay, budgeting, saving, okay, making sure that telling them, as for example, now an example of financial literacy is on how you can teach your child how to budget. Delayed gratification is something. It's not every time your child asks for something that you have to give them. So telling them, like, okay, I cannot afford this particular item now, or even though I can afford it, I don't believe that you can have you should have it because normally that's what I don't believe that you should have it. I think it's too expensive for you to have. So it's not everything you give your child. Your children now they want to wear the latest, what's it called, blouse. The latest
designer
designer
or shoes or Adidas
or
and all
shoes. Have they worked for it? When they start working, yeah, because when my children they worked, my children they do work, holiday work, yeah, they do. So when they start working and start knowing that, okay, you go and buy, when by the time they give you minimum wage, right? And then you go and use, after working, you know how it is, go for and stand for how many hours, and then come back with how much for 1 week. Go and use that money for designers. See how it is. So the basic thing. So that is life. You would little things. You will use it to teach your children, how to be wise financially. All right. Tell them that, look, you don't have, if you don't need something, you don't need to have it. Just because you have the money to buy a particular wear does not mean that you have to have it. You need to be able to save. You need to you need to be able to. Sometimes my children say, I know you have the money. You say I don't have no money. That you know you have the money. I say, yeah, I might have the money in quotes, but my money is not for that. I've not budgeted my money for that. They feel that, okay, because you have money, then if they ask something, that money for you would not eat. Are you not going to eat? Are you not going to pay rent? So they don't understand that. So because you have a particular money does not mean that money, when you ask for something, is for that. So how are you going to take care of other things? So you need to be able to teach them. So it's by you teaching them, using moments for learning opportunities. You'll be able to teach them like financial literacy, even communication, even emotional intelligence, how to communicate. For example, it could be in correcting them.
Yes.
For example, if a child maybe outside and you feel that, oh, maybe your child has spoken to somebody rudely, it might not be rude in their in their eyes. This our generation. There's a you might feel that not really. You might feel that, okay, the way that your child will approach that issue is not too good. You might be able to correct, maybe not in front of that person, but maybe when you come back home and say, oh, do you know how you spoke to that person or how you handled that situation was not, you could have done better than how you did. So there's a way you can correct. That is in life generally. So that is how you can teach your child. It's by everyday teaching. Even when you are driving them, sometimes when I'm taking them to school, there are moments I use when I'm driving my son to maybe to the bus stop to take the bus. I use it for spirit. You can teach them anything, spiritual values, not only communication, not only emotional intelligence, even spiritual values. You are able to use those moments, those little moments, to teach them
Yeah.
that okay, spiritually, you need to build.
Stories.
Yeah, so build your relationship with God. Different things. So moments you seize the opportunities, seize silent learning opportunities to be able to impact your children.
Yeah.
And our prayer is that they'll be able to learn, they'll be able to take all those things because you're sowing into their lives. You
Yeah.
don't know where they will need it. You might think that they are not really listening, but you see, they
Their
will
seeds.
remember. If you're sowing seeds, they will always remember that, oh, my mom used to, even though I didn't feel like I'm talking, because sometimes, even though it's like, sometimes it will be as if, oh, yes, mom, you've come again. Like you don't want to listen to you, yes, but those seeds, it will one day, it will come
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
when they are alone, when there's nobody. They will remember. They will
Yes.
remember that. Oh, I heard this. I heard this. I heard that.
Yeah.
So I
Thank you.
pray that God will help us.
Amen.
Thank
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. In addition to all of all that has been said, other ways are also introducing them to books and podcasts that have on financial literacy or emotional well-being. Just
Yeah.
introduce them to not the very long ones, because if it's 5 minutes one or
Mm.
10 minutes, we can introduce it to them. Also, community service projects like going to help with charity work somewhere.
Yeah.
Helping in the library or something, or mine do babysitting. They do babysitting for people and all of
Yeah.
that. And even though they are being paid for the ones they are not being paid to, also let them also know that everything is not about monies. There's some things that you could actually do for people to do for free and all of that.
Yeah.
Also encouraging their hobbies like cooking, maybe DIY projects, entrepreneurship, crocheting, walking a dog, any other hobby they have is nice to help them build that well-rounded environment, so that their intellectual and emotional intelligence is being nurtured. So before I say let me see if there are other comments. Oh, thank you very much, those who have written comments on the chat. It says giving them roles within the household, for example, chores. Let them get them involved in group activities where they can assert themselves positively, recognizing their strengths. Yes, giving them roles within the household. Also teaching, thank you, Pure Grace says, teach communication by modeling the right way to express feelings, resolve conflicts. Get them involved in how you do these daily, just as the guest has spoken. Exactly. Thank you very much. So we are wrapping it up, I'll say, by weaving life skills into daily routines, encouraging a growth mindset, and providing real world experiences. Parents can prepare children to excel academically and succeed in life. So the goal is not perfection, but progress, building that capable, confident individual ready to face the future. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in today. It is a wrap on this series of Mamas and Papas Parenting Talk. The next one, say, if you're a teacher here, especially teachers in the UK, and if you're a teacher in the US, it would be nice to compare and contrast in the US and outside Nigeria, because so many people are coming out of Nigeria using the education system and thinking, oh, everything is fine. My child is usually number one, but they get into the system and they find out that it's a different ballgame. In the UK, they don't do exam from one class to the other. Everybody let my people go. So they all
Everybody go together.
yeah, everybody goes together. It's only
Yes.
when you get to the final stage, you will now start seeing, should have taken note or something. So all of those talks, all of those questions on education, we are going to be bringing them here in May. And there's so many topics lined up. And for the next one, which we will be talking about, this is somebody who goes around schools encouraging youths and all that. So navigating teen challenges, substance use, sexuality, and healthy decision making. That will be on the 18th of April. Please be there and let us juggle our brains together with this. So thank you very much. This is why I call it a day. Thank you very much, Mrs. Olubanja, for
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for not allowing me to be here alone.
Thank you too.
Thank you. I know so many people struggled with it. So thank you. I'll let you go. I'll let you go now. Thank you. So you've had it all. I know so many of our guests struggled with their internet. Even I struggled with my internet at some point. I had to change the network to my phone one just to be sure. You see, I had to change that to my mobile network because the house phone was playing up. So, but in all, we are grateful for the end of this series. Hope you join us in April 8 on the 18th of April for this particular talk on navigating teenage challenges, because I tell you, if you know what goes on within the teenage community with substance abuse, sexuality, and healthy decision making, not making healthy decisions, gambling, there's some drugs they mention that I listen to on the news and be like, what? Where did they get that name from? But all of us, they know all this vaping, all these things they introduce in this generation. Let us come and add our voices to the talk on the 18th of April. And there are also some other talks that will be coming up before then. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for staying tuned to the end. I really appreciate you. Thank you, subscribers, for always coming in. Thank you to all those who are returning, who are always commenting, who are always sharing the video, who are always, chatting behind the scene. You are blessed. Thank you very much. I don't know how to say thank you, but I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next video coming up. I think on the next week. There is something else on Friday. I think it is. Yes, this is on menopause. What a doctor says about menopause. I haven't got the poster here, but thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. Bye.
Have you subscribed and liked? Welcome to Dr. Bunmi Abel TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining. It's a journey. Let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here. There's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bunmi Abel TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here. There's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here. There's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game.